Emotional intelligence is the ability to deeply understand, observe, and handle emotions without being controlled by them. Most people either suppress their emotions or get overwhelmed by them, but real intelligence lies in watching them without reacting immediately. Emotions are like waves in the ocean. They come and go. If one learns to observe them with awareness, they lose their power to disturb the mind. When anger, fear, sadness, or jealousy arises, instead of fighting against it or expressing it in a destructive way, one can simply watch it. This simple act of observation changes everything. The moment one becomes fully aware of an emotion, without identifying with it, the emotion starts to dissolve on its own. This is the key to emotional mastery. In daily life, countless situations trigger emotions. Someone may insult you, and anger immediately rises within. The usual reaction is either to suppress it, which creates inner frustration, or to lash out, which damages relationships. But there is another way, to simply observe. When anger appears, watch it carefully. Notice how it feels in the body, how it affects breathing, and how the mind reacts. By observing in this way, a gap is created between the emotion and the reaction. In that gap, wisdom arises. Instead of being a prisoner of emotions, one becomes free. This is the essence of emotional intelligence. To develop emotional intelligence, one must become deeply aware of thoughts and feelings. The mind is conditioned by past experiences, constantly reacting in habitual ways. If someone criticizes you, the mind immediately recalls past criticisms, creating unnecessary suffering. But if one remains present, watching thoughts and emotions as they arise, the conditioning starts to break. One begins to see that emotions are not personal. They are simply energies passing through. Instead of being trapped in them, one learns to use them wisely. When joy arises, it is enjoyed fully. When sadness comes, it is also observed without resistance. This acceptance brings deep peace. Another aspect of emotional intelligence is understanding that emotions are temporary. No emotion lasts forever. Just as the sky remains untouched by passing clouds, awareness remains untouched by emotions. But most people forget this and identify completely with their emotions. When sadness comes, they say, "I am sad," instead of seeing that sadness is just passing through. This identification with emotions creates suffering. The moment one realizes that emotions are like visitors that come and go, one stops clinging to them. Life becomes lighter, and emotional freedom becomes possible. Thinking big is also connected to emotional intelligence. Many people remain stuck in small problems, constantly worrying about trivial matters. They become trapped in fears, insecurities, and past wounds. But life is vast, and true intelligence means seeing beyond personal struggles. When one understands emotions deeply, one is no longer caught in unnecessary conflicts. A mind that is free from emotional turmoil naturally expands. Instead of focusing on small worries, it begins to explore bigger possibilities. For example, a person stuck in fear and insecurity cannot think beyond survival. Their entire energy is consumed by worry. But someone with emotional intelligence knows how to step back, observe the mind, and release unnecessary fears. This person is free to explore, create, and live fully. Thinking big means not being trapped by small emotions. It means understanding that emotions are just movements of energy and do not define who we are. When the mind is clear, life becomes a space of infinite potential. Mastering emotions does not mean suppressing them. It means understanding them so deeply that they no longer control behavior. A person who masters emotions does not react blindly to situations. If anger arises, they do not immediately act on it. Instead, they pause, observe, and allow the emotion to pass. This ability to pause is the key to emotional mastery. It creates space for conscious action rather than impulsive reaction. For example, if someone says something hurtful, the immediate reaction might be to defend oneself or attack back. But a person with emotional mastery will remain calm, allowing the emotion to settle before responding. This response will be intelligent rather than emotional. It may be firm, but it will not be controlled by anger. Such a person does not waste energy on unnecessary emotional battles. They know that peace is more valuable than proving a point. Dealing with emotions wisely means neither suppressing nor indulging in them. Suppressing emotions creates inner conflict, while indulging in them creates suffering for oneself and others. The right approach is to watch them as they arise and let them pass naturally. This is true emotional freedom. It brings a deep sense of inner stability. One way to develop emotional intelligence is through self-awareness. Taking time to be alone, observing thoughts, and reflecting on emotions helps one understand their patterns. Another method is to remain present in daily life, watching how emotions appear in different situations. If one remains aware, even the strongest emotions lose their power to disturb. Life is full of challenges, and emotions will always arise. But one who has mastered emotions does not get shaken by difficulties. They remain steady, knowing that everything passes. They do not get lost in unnecessary worries or fears. Their mind remains open, and their heart remains light. Such a person is truly free. Ultimately, emotional intelligence is not about controlling emotions, but about understanding them so deeply that they no longer disturb inner peace. It is about becoming so aware that emotions, instead of controlling life, become a source of wisdom and clarity. When one lives with this awareness, life becomes effortless, relationships improve, and a deep sense of joy arises. Instead of being lost in emotions, one begins to live with a free and peaceful mind.